welcome back. So I'm starting bare-faced, so I'm going to go ahead and prime and fill in my brows using the Morphe Java pencil, and I'm going to be cleaning up using the new filter concealer, and this is in the shade Rich 30, and it's pretty close to my skin tone, and you can see that it does have a slight radiance to it. So I am just using this to clean up my brows. Now that my brows are done and eyes are primed, I'm going to be jumping into the Morphe 3502 palette. This is my favorite palette, and I'm just going to be taking that JH33 brush, and I am going to start working on my outer V and slowly bringing it into my crease. And you can tell that this is pigmented, and I'm just building that color up. So now I'm just going into a little bit darker brown, and I'm using the Morphe M506 brush to really get into the crease. So now I'm cutting the crease using the M224. And then I'm going back into the JH, the first brush I used. I'm just going back and blending out that edge. So now I'm taking this shader brush, which is the A29, and I'm using this like coppery bronze color. I've never used this shade for whatever reason, so I wanted to play with this color, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I am just building that up to make it like kind of intense. And so now I'm taking this champagne shade and using that on the inner 1/3 of my eye. And they just really blend so nice together. And now I'm just deepening that outer V using that dark brown shade. And so now I'm taking the Make It Big liquid liner. This is a brush tip liner, and normally I really like felt tips, so I was like really scared to do my wing, but it came out pretty good, and it's super black. So now I'm just going to pop on these lashes, and I'm going to be using this Morphe foundation, and I'm just spraying my face using the setting spray first, just because this is more of a radiant foundation. So adding the setting spray first allows it to be a little bit more mattifying, and I am just tapping that in. And as you can see, this shade is like my perfect match. So next I'm going back into that Rich 30 concealer and cleaning up my wing. And now I'm taking Tan 24, which is a little bit brighter. I would say that this shade is most close to my Juvia's Place number 12 shade. So I'll probably use this more, but I really like the two layered. So because of that setting spray, everything is kind of more matte. So I had to go ahead and start blending everything out. But this concealer has great coverage and it's very smoothing. So I really, really, really like this concealer. So here is the Morphe setting powder in banana, and here I am just pressing it in with the sponge, and oh my god guys, this powder started grabbing in certain places and literally drying out my under eye. So at first I didn't notice that it was grabbing, but then I saw it, if you could see it right there by my pores. Like, yeah, this is probably the worst powder I've ever used. So I probably won't be using it with a sponge. Maybe I'll try it with a brush. But yeah, I'm literally crazy. And I used this to bake, which made it horrible, okay? Because I was like, well, I'm just gonna do my, powder how I always do. So now I'm going to be bronzing, and this is the GLAMABRONZE Phenom bronzer, and I really, really love this bronzer. And I'm still using that same bronzer, and I'm using that to contour my nose. So now I'm taking the 8R face palette, and I'm just going into that darker shade to contour. I really didn't need to contour, but I love a sculpted face. Now I'm going to be taking this pinky blush, and Morphe, we need some blushes, babe. Like, yeah. So I am taking that same banana powder and cleaning up underneath. And this is when I realized I messed up with this powder. So look at that. First of all, it's like super bright, but you can see like where it clung to my skin. It didn't do that when I used it to clean up my bronzer and contour, but underneath my eyes, it's absolutely horrendous. So here's me looking at it like knowing I truly messed up. But the show must go on. So I'm taking this highlighter shade. It's called Mirage. It does come in a single pan, and I'm just using that to highlight. Definitely not the best highlighter formula. I should have honestly used my Bretman Rock highlighter palette. But yeah, now I'm going to try to pop like my inner corner, but the shade I used wasn't bright enough, so I'm actually going to go into the Madison Beer palette. There we are. And I'm just going to take that matte white and pop that into the inner corner just to brighten and open up my eyes. So to try to fix this powdery mess, I'm taking the Morphe Luminous Setting Spray and spraying the hell out of my face. And so now I'm just letting that dry down. And I'm going to be using this Make It Big mascara. And this is like a dupe for the Too Faced mascara. And I'm sorry, I got distracted by how cute my mirror is. But this mascara is like really clumpy and super wet, but it definitely works. So now I'm taking my discontinued lip liner in Bar, okay, Morphe. I'm gonna need y'all to bring this back. And I am just lining my lips. I still have on my like chapstick underneath. I didn't blot it off for whatever reason. And so now I'm taking this lipstick. I was kind of scared because I've never worn this color, and I really do like this shade. So that is my full face of Morphe, and I used the Morphe Filter Effect Soft Radiant Concealers, and I will definitely have to say those are a go for me, okay? The only thing that I used that was not really something that I would use again is probably going to be the setting powder. I probably won't use it to bake, but maybe just to set, because after I baked it kind of like dried out like underneath my eye. Everything else was a hit. So yeah, this is my full face of Morphe products. Thank you guys so much for watching my video, and like always, I will see you guys in my next one.